Square One is an example of how our city touches the lives of our citizens each and every day. Our library, the Mandel Public Library of West Palm Beach, has become an educational, social, and recreational hub for our city. In addition to maintaining and improving our public parks and recreation facilities, the Department of Parks and Recreation administers aftercare and sports programs to close to 1,100 children a year, and more than 4,700 children attend our library's after-school programming. Combined, the Parks Department and the library fed close to 14,000 snacks and meals to children in our community last year. Our Housing and Community Development, or HCD team, continues to help residents realize the dream of home ownership, helping 19 households with purchase assistance in the last year alone. HCD continues to work with the Lord's Place and other organizations to help the homeless get a home, with 39 people being diverted from homelessness last year. As a matter of fact, just a few weeks ago, we were able to place 4 people who were living in the City Hall courtyard into homes of their own. Amazing. Yes. And a special thanks to the Urban League for working with us to prepare young men from our city for work. Some of these young men will be working with Hedrick Brothers Cooper Construction and D. Stevenson as they build our 2 new fire stations. Thank you, Dale Hedrick, Jackie Cooper, and Joe Sanchez, for giving these young men a chance to learn from the best. I mentioned that the city of West Palm Beach is only as great as its people. I wish to acknowledge my team, the 1,600 city employees who, when faced with Hurricane Irma, continued working for you to ensure our city was operational and safe. Thanks to the West Palm Beach Police and Fire Rescue Departments, our lifesavers, for rescuing families from homes with compromised roofs and ensuring good quality of care for residents in assisted living and nursing facilities. The very dedicated Public Works Department worked around the clock for weeks to clear our streets in the aftermath of the storm. The city's rapid recovery was due in no small measure to their efforts. Please join me in saying thank you to them and to the rest of our city employees. The city employees, stand up so we can recognize you. Today, I could not be prouder of the leadership team that guides our city. When I look out during senior staff meetings, I see half my team is made up of women, and 5 of the city's largest departments are led by women. I've made each of these hiring decisions individually, but together, a team has been assembled that sets the example for other cities to follow. Making equality a priority extends not only to gender, but also to gender identification, minority hiring, embracing diversity, and helping those who need it the most. As a city, we have a special role in setting the right example for the treatment of all who live in our community. That is why I'm proud to say that West Palm Beach has earned a perfect score for the 2nd year in a row on the Human Rights Campaign's Municipal Equality Index. I'm also proud to say that 53% of our workforce is minority. And this year, we have raised the minimum wage for city employees to $15 an hour. And just last week, the City Commission passed a living wage ordinance, which means if you work for a company that's doing business with our city, your minimum wage will be $15 an hour by October. For 7 years, I have tried to steer West Palm Beach in the direction of being a more vibrant, healthy, and equitable community. According to 880 Cities, if our city is as great for an 8-year-old as it is for an 80-year-old, then it will be great for all people. To realize this vision for an improved quality of life for everyone in our city, we must enhance our mobility and public spaces. As we design our urban spaces, we must put people first. Walking, bicycling, parks, and public spaces build healthier, happier, and more equitable communities. 2018 will be a groundbreaking year for quality of life improvements in our city. I am pleased to announce that we have created the city's first Office of Public Life, the first in the country. The Office of Public Life will ensure all of our decisions are evaluated on their effects on public health, sustainability, pedestrian friendliness, and the creation of safe and comfortable connections for all our neighborhoods. Public life will be a priority in government planning and investment. Today, I would like to introduce you to our new Public Life Director, Wendy Morse. You may know her as Captain Morse, recently retired from the West Palm Beach Police Department. Here, she joins Matthew Lister of Gale Studios, our partner in creating a city for people, to talk about what this will mean for West Palm Beach.
Hi, I'm Wendy Morse. I'm the Director of the Office of Public Life.
Hi, I'm Matthew Lister. I direct the New York office of Gale. We're a public space design and strategy firm.
The Director of the Office of Public Life is responsible for making sure that we are creating a city that works for people, that our public spaces are places that people want to be in, enjoy being in, and feel safe and comfortable using. We had Gale come in and do a study in the city, and they identified 5 or 6 pilot projects that we're going to be doing throughout the city. The first one we're going to be doing is Dance into the Sunset, to try to create a contiguous, safe, comfortable connection from the convention center to Palm Beach Lakes along the Rosemary Avenue corridor.
The project is called Dance into the Sunset, right? Because we're leveraging the investment that's happening for the revitalization and renovation of the Sunset Lounge. That will also be happening at the same time as investments are happening all along Rosemary, especially through City Place.
We want to take into account each particular neighborhood's special, unique qualities and weave those into the public spaces of those neighborhoods.
The goal of all of this is to continue to make West Palm Beach a great place for people, right? And to provide more options for as many West Palm Beachers to come in and stay longer and enjoy the great public spaces in the city.
We have taken a number of steps in this direction. For example, we're working with Gale on Dance into the Sunset and Complete Clematis. We have developed an initiative with the Van Allen Institute and Ecosistema Urbana that looks at our city as a model waterfront city and asks, how can we create a more vibrant spaces that are intelligent, flexible, and responsive. This year, you will begin to see the results of our detailed mobility study come to life. Results that will provide you, residents and visitors, with better options for moving throughout our city, especially along the Okeechobee corridor. Your safety on our sidewalks and streets, whether you are walking, biking, or driving a vehicle, is paramount. We continue to move forward with the citywide bike master plan to lay out a network of convenient and comfortable bike lanes, cycle tracks, off-road trails, and bike boulevards that connect people of all ages and from all neighborhoods to the places where they live, learn, work, and play. But wait, there's more. Our efforts to create the kind of quality of life that will make West Palm Beach an even more desirable place to live and work and play just don't end there. So today, I'm excited to announce WPB City for People, a vision of more than a dozen projects that will transform our city by redesigning key areas while putting people and quality of life at the forefront. Banyan Street transformation, that will bridge the currently divided downtown and northwest neighborhoods in a safer, more pedestrian and bike-friendly manner. The Banyan Hub, a public-private partnership that will create a social hub with amenities like public meeting space, hip micro apartments, and flexible parking where the old Banyan Street garage now sits. Clematis Streetscape. For the first phase, we are investing $2 million to spruce up Clematis Street. The Datura Avernia Plaza project will reconfigure the roadway along the 300 to 400 blocks to create a public plaza and open space that will accommodate outdoor dining, recreation, and a tree canopy. Our downtown alleys. We will re-envision our downtown alleys into activated pedestrian malls. Our waterfront promenade. We will move forward with the redesign of our waterfront to make it more people-friendly. Northwood. We will redevelop the anchor site at the western end of Northwood Road. And Curry Park. We will reimagine Curry Park, making it a hub in our North End neighborhood. And here's good news. South Dixie Highway. I'm pleased to announce that FDOT has given us the go-ahead to redesign South Dixie Highway. These projects will usher in a new urban renaissance in our city, bringing about positive residual effects in areas of economic development, public health, sustainability, and more. As I enter the 9th inning of my time as mayor, for which I'm sad to say there will be no extra innings, I ask each of you, and especially our city commissioners, to join me on this stretch of our journey to building a better city for people. Become a part of the process. Come to our public meetings. Bring an open mind. Share your ideas, your feedback. West Palm Beach is where it is today because we have worked our plan, never lost sight of our goals, and remained focused on the big picture. Success lies in our ability to embrace new ideas and new ways of thinking. Before I end, I hope you will allow me to leave you with one small piece of advice.
All right, Elon Muoio, thank you very much for joining us from Washington. I appreciate that. Up next, we're turning from taxes. Kind of confusion, par for the course. Anytime you make big changes to the tax law like this, or does this factor into sort of how quickly this was put together?
The time frame here is particularly short.
All right, Elon Muoio, thank you very much for joining us from Washington. I appreciate that. Up next, returning from taxes. Kind of confusion, par for the course. Anytime you make big changes to the tax law like this, or does this at all, in your view, factor into sort of how quickly this was put together?
Particularly short.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, Elon Muoio, thank you very much for joining us from Washington.
Thank you, Mayor Muoio.
Up next, returning from taxes. Kind of confusion, par for the course. Anytime you make big changes to the tax law like this, or does this at all, in your view, factor into sort of how quickly this was put together?
And after that, if you want to come up and get your picture with the Houston Astros World Champion trophy.
All right, Elon Muoio, thank you very much for joining us from Washington. I appreciate that. Up next, returning from taxes. Kind of confusion, par for the course. Anytime you make big changes to the tax law like this, or does this at all, in your view, factor into sort of how quickly this was put together?
The time frame here is particularly short.
All right, Elon Muoio, thank you very much.